I'm assuming you've seen the film.
I have.
Complete. And I know you can't give any details or anything, but what were your thoughts? Were you surprised by any of it? And
I was surprised by a lot of it, which is
Really?
amazing. And for someone who had read the script and knew what happened, for me to still be surprised, I think, is a great, great feeling. Because obviously other people who have not read the script will be even more surprised. But it was a very odd sense. It's a very odd thing watching myself for the first time properly and seeing all the work come together. Work that kind of started for me 2 years ago. It's a very, very weird thing, and I still can't quite pinpoint what that feeling is.
Well, at what moment during filming did it really hit you like, wow, this is Star Wars?
Probably when Harrison was on the Millennium Falcon. That was, because the thing is, Star Wars didn't have a huge impact on my life, but it's that weird thing that suddenly, like you have all this knowledge and you don't know where it comes from. You know you've seen the films, but it goes way beyond that.
Right.
Just things that you pick up and posters
Right.
and T-shirts and like references everywhere.
Right.
And the fact that that was still important to me, my God, it was so important to everyone. Everyone was there. It was really amazing.
Do you get to use a lightsaber?
We'll have to wait and see.
We have to wait and see. Let's assume you use one in real life. What color
Okay.
would it be?
Let's say, oh, I don't know, like a disco ball.
It'd be like a disco ball.
Yeah.
There you go, so you can dance with it at
Yeah.
the same time.
Oh my God, it'd be great if it had a disco ball in the end. So while you're like,
Busted a move. Oh,
exactly,
look at that. I like
yeah,
that right there.
yeah.
Did you really train 5 hours a day and
I
eat
did.
nothing but fish?
Oh God, no, that's not true. It's that because that's the one thing that was so annoying that it got taken out of context. Because I had to put on muscle, and obviously I think people were like, "Oh, she had to lose weight because it's a big film," and it's like, no, I didn't. I had to put on muscle, so I was eating a lot,
Right.
and I love to eat. But it got to a point I was like, I feel sick.
My kind
But
of
someone's
girl.
telling you to eat,
Yes.
telling you to eat, and you're just like, oh. But I did train 5 hours a day. But it was fun, and there was a lot of chat, as you can already tell. There's a lot of me going.
So that's why I took 5 hours.
Yeah, yeah, they're like, we were meant to be out here 4 hours ago.
Now, you've said that you had a feeling about this
Yeah.
role from the beginning. So you were sort of subliminally using the Force,
Maybe we could say that.
right?
Maybe we could say that, yeah.
What did your family and friends say when you finally were able to tell them? The
My
secrecy
friends
had to
did
be
a lot
hard.
of weeping. And it was weird because by that point I was like, you know, I was still dealing with it, but
Yeah.
the insane emotions had kind of muted a bit or settled a bit. And I was like, oh my God, why are you all crying? Is it a really big deal? And then I was like, oh yeah, it's actually quite a big deal. And my dad was sleeping and I told him and he went, Jesus Christ. And then he went back to sleep.
And had a little dream.
Yeah, but then the next day he was like, Daisy, something weird happened yesterday. I think your mum told me that you got wrong or something. I was like, no, I told you, and it's true. And he was like, oh, okay.
That worked out.
Yeah.
What about when you first met Harrison and Carrie? Did they offer any sort of insight, or what was their sort of demeanor on the set?
Talked about anonymity. We met before we were on set. So me and Harrison met, and then me and Carrie met at a dinner. We all went for dinner together, which was really nice. I never really asked them anything, and now I wish I did. Because I never wanted to be that person, because, you know, I imagine they get asked things all the time. And I didn't want to be that person, and now I'm like, oh my God, why wasn't I that person? I have no idea what to expect.
Maybe on the next one.
Yeah.
I'm sure on the next one. We see the original droids as well as BB-8 and all that. So, and how was it, just that aspect in this sort of world and working in that sort of...
It's funny because people seem to assume, that it's more difficult working with droids than it is with humans. But I started with BB-8. So when it came to like working with John, I was like, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know how to work with this. I'm confused. BB-8's amazing. We have the most incredible puppeteers, Team BB-8. 4 guys who have created him and control him. So he's like, he, she, whatever it is, we're not sure what gender, moving all the time. There's like noises all the time, the head's moving, and it's like you're working with something.
Yeah.
So the tendency is to be like, meow, you're so cute, which isn't right because he's little, but he's still an important droid. Yeah. But other than that, it was great working with him.
I bet. And as far as your character, from what I could tell, is it safe to say she's a bit of a scavenger?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is her trade.
And a little bit of a badass. With the 5-hour training, minus the talking, you had to. There's some combat.
The 15 minutes of training. Yeah, she's not like a fighter. She's not a fighter, but she lives alone on a desert planet. So yes, she can look after herself.
She knows how to take care of herself.
Big question is, I'm just going to cut to the chase here,
Okay.
Daisy. What did you think of Star Wars: The Force Awakens?
What did I think of it when I watched it?
Yes.
It was an overwhelming sense of emotions. I'm excited to watch it again because I feel like at the time I was watching myself going, oh. So to be a bit more removed from it, I'm excited to see it again as a whole rather than concentrating on my own performance.
Well, also, just flashing back a little bit, you've seen the film, but your reaction to watching that trailer for the first time was the kind of passion and energy that the world is experiencing with you right now. What was that like to see that?
It's just incredible. There have been thousands of people that worked on the film, and to see that, obviously we had the teasers before, but there was just something about the trailer that just felt so emotional, and seeing all that work, all those thousands of people, and the time and the energy that people have put into this incredible thing, to see that kind of play out was just amazing. And also it was the middle of the night, so I was really tired. I'm not just crying.
You woke up pretty fast.
Yeah.
You and John seem to have this really special bond, and you've nicknamed him Peanut. Where did that come from?
Well, I think it's because I tend to go like to people and then like insert name, but he said it's the shape of my head. Thanks, John.
So the whole process, let's start with the audition because everything was so secretive. How did that process go down?
The thing with me is I'm like super funny about jinxing things, so I actually don't really talk about things that much anyway. So the audition thing was fine. It was when I got told I got it and the 3 months I couldn't tell anyone about it was very difficult.
But there's always that one person that we all have that you're like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, but
no. And you know what? I asked the second. So I told my mum, my dad, and my sister, and then they told people. And then I was like to my second, like, I just really want to tell this one person. And he was like, look, you've done well, so it's up to you whether you want to or not. And I was like, okay, I won't. I won't.
Wait.
So
Your
I actually didn't.
Your sister looks just like you.
She does. I have another one that looks just like me too.
So are people going up to being like, I can't wait to see you in Star Wars?
Well, no, someone walked up to her the other day and went, are you the youngest of 5 or something? She was like, huh? It was just a very weird roundabout way. But no, I think when you see us together, the more you get to know us, the more differences are apparent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so now here we are. What was it like getting into costume and actually stepping on the set of Star Wars for the first time? A movie that people have waited 30 years for.
Yeah, it was incredible. We went through a couple costume tries and a couple hair tries, and putting on the right costume, the one that I ended up in, everyone in the room was like, oh my gosh. And the same thing happened with the hair. And obviously that combined with being in the desert in Abu Dhabi, which obviously represents Jakku, we didn't need to add anything else. It was right there in front of us. The speeders were there, the creatures were there. It was just insane, also terrifying.
What is that experience like? Because this is your first movie ever,
and it's a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It's not only your first movie ever, but it's the biggest movie ever. Like, what does that feel like for you?
It was obviously overwhelming. I just wanted to get in and do a good job. But the longest I'd ever worked on anything was 2 weeks. So I was like, oh my God.
Steady job.
It was great. Yeah.
Is it true you felt like you said you felt like you were going to get fired every day?
Oh my God, yeah. I was literally like, there's been a great mistake made. I don't know what's going on. But obviously with JJ and everyone who are very encouraging and wonderful and make you feel important and talented, that kind of went.
Speaking of JJ, I mean, what a great, first of all, he's like the nicest guy ever.
I know.
He's such a professional. He knows his stuff. Huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And he said you were tough. Like there was one day on the set where like some sparks got down your back or something.
Yeah.
What was that? What happened then?
We were running away from some explosions, and obviously the explosions are also real. They're not really huge explosions, but they're squibs, they call them. And I kept seeming to be getting hit by things, and I got hit by something that day as well. And I was literally, because I remember I had to finish what we were doing, and then I was literally like, oh! And I went away for a few minutes. I was like, right, I'm ready to go again. But I'm not that brave.
Well, they said you got burnt though, and that you just kind of, needed a few minutes, and you came right back and were ready to go.
Yeah,
That's how you roll.
Yeah,
That's just how you get down.
we had to make the film, Can't
Now,
have
what was
leave
the first time you saw a Star Wars movie? Was it before you even got cast in anything? Because the question is this is the first Star Wars movie in 32 years with Han Solo, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill. So what was it like seeing them all in character for the first time on the set?
It's funny because it didn't really have a huge impact on me, but I guess because of the phenomenon it's been culturally around the world, it still felt incredibly important seeing that, and it felt special seeing that. So obviously I didn't even know that much about Star Wars, and I was like, ooh, I can't imagine everyone else, because they must have been like, trying not to pass out from the excitement. But it was amazing. I think Harrison's still in the same like trousers. That he's like still in the same great shape.
Did Carrie Fisher give you any advice? Because I know she had talked about when she played Princess Leia that after that, how was she going to date? Because she didn't want to give anyone the power of saying, I've slept with Princess Leia.
She did say that to me. She told me not to get through the crew like wildfire. Thanks, Carrie. I didn't really ask too much. I didn't really want to be a nuisance, and now I kind of wish I did, because now the film's almost here, and I don't have time to ask those questions. But they kind of led by example. They're all like so excited to be back and so enthusiastic and so respectful and hardworking and all the things that I obviously want to maintain in my career. So that was kind of a wonderful thing to see.
Well, also back in the first movie, in the first trilogy, Leia was like the only like strong female character in that whole series. Now you've got a bunch of them, like all this diversity. They're really opening it up. I mean, that's got to be a great thing too.
It's amazing, and it's nice because I think many people will be able to relate to Rey and her story, but also we have a whole host of other women, for young women and men to relate to. So that's wonderful, ranging from serious goody to serious baddie.
Star Wars is a franchise that is scrutinized like no other. There's some hot button debates. I want to see where you come down on these important questions.
Han.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just because that's his
Because
character.
Han is badass. I love Ewoks so much.
Maybe.
Also kind of terrifying though. Someone had a t-shirt yesterday and it was like really intimidating, just staring at me from
an
her
Ewok?
stomach. I say view them in whatever order you like.
Choose your own adventure?
Yeah, exactly.
Han Solo's relationship with Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Do you think he actually understands what Chewie is saying, or is he just humoring him?
No, he understands him.
He speaks Wookiee?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it? Absolutely creepy in retrospect.
Right?
But to be fair to them, they didn't know they were brother and sister. I mean, he's slightly annoying.
I'm kind of on the rebound since my lady tragically died giving birth to twins who are now trying to vanquish me.
Oh my god, I thought you were being serious then.
Also, my voice is a little off-putting to some. Any advice for how I can meet a girl? D. Vader 77.
Oh my god, I thought that was a real thing and that was so sad. I'd say D. Vader, hop on Tinder. Because you can really filter those pictures,
Right.
and no one has to hear your voice till they're already on a date with you, and then they can't really turn back.
Hello there. Like everyone else, I'm trying to lose a few pounds. My job is super stressful and I'm on the road a lot on my sail barge. I can't see my feet anymore, and frankly, I'm not sure if I ever had any. The truth is, I eat my feelings and everything else. Any advice? J. Hutt.
Hey Jabs, eating your feelings is okay, as long as you're getting your greens.
What time did you wake up this morning?
5.
What size bed do you sleep in?
What size bed?
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a king size. That is a bit guilty
Sweet.
pleasure.
Night owl or early bird?
Both in their ways.
Bath or shower?
Oh, sitting down in the shower.
Would you never leave without the house?
My keys.
Favorite way to work up a sweat?
Lifting weights.
Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram.
Favorite vacation spot?
Lake District.
Flight or road trip?
Flight.
Harry or William?
I thought it said Harry. I was like, where's this going? Harry or William? Harry.
What would you do tomorrow if you didn't have to work?
Oh, go to Mexico for a holiday.
Your favorite thing that starts with the letter E?
Oh my God! E.
We're totally out of time.
Eggplant.
Good answer.